Hey friends, how's it going today? Super windy out here. I almost fell off the bike earlier when I was getting on it and starting it up. Just over here at a little park, and I am on the way to Ride Now Power Sports in Austin, where the BMW dealer is. Today they're showcasing the brand new R1300 GS, the adventure bike from BMW. So that'll be kind of the first time anyone around here is going to see it in person. Unfortunately, there's no test riding or anything like that. It's just a BMW regional. I guess the bike is touring around the US right now and letting people check it out. And from what I understand, at the dealership, there's already a whole bunch of pre-orders waiting for this bike. So it should be pretty cool. I'm going to head down there now. And along the way, I'm just going to go over some of the stats of the bike from the BMW website. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to finish my ride, and I'll see you at Ride Now Power Sports. Hopefully you can get some good shots and good information. And that's it. So I'll see you in a little bit. Got to put the cool visor down. It's sunny. I always feel like a jet fighter pilot when I do that. Key the Top Gun music in the back, I guess. Wow, I hear that boxer. Alright. Let's head out. So this is a brand new bike configuration for BMW. I'll close that. I'm riding the R1250 RS, and so the 1250 boxer engine has been in this bike and the GS and the RT. I believe those are the only three that have this platform. And the GS is the first one because it's the best seller for BMW that's getting the new 1300cc engine, and I'm assuming that the RT and the RS will probably get the engine for the 2025 model, maybe. So it comes in, the 1300 GS comes in a few configurations. It's got the trophy, what they call the GS trophy, and that's more of the kind of off-road, real kind of adventure bike. So someone that's really going to go off-road a lot more. I think the trophy comes with like more off-road tires. I'm not exactly sure all the little differences between them, but so there's the GS trophy, there's the GS triple black, which comes with street tires, so that's more of a bike that's, you know, someone's probably going to be on the road most of the time. And then there's the option 719. What do you call that one? That's the Tramontana, I think it's called. I think it's in reference to the mountain range in Spain, I'm guessing. I don't know. But the base price is, the color scheme is called, it's a white color, and it's called light white, I think it's called, or white light. That's the base model. It's $19,590 for that one, according to the website. And then the most expensive model is the option 719, which is $26,770 with the premium package. And you can actually go higher than that if there's lots of extra little doodads you can put on the bike, different kinds of lighting and seats and all kinds of different kinds of spoked rims, and you name it, you can put it on there, and different kinds of bags, luggage, etc. And the price can definitely creep up beyond that. The engine, as mentioned before, it's a 1300cc engine. It's both air and liquid cooled, and it's technically referred to as a horizontally opposed boxer twin, and comes with the shaft drive, which is amazing. Very low maintenance. Comes with 145 horsepower, which is 10 more than my bike, or the previous model, 1250, and 110 foot-pounds of torque, which is five more than my bike and the previous bike. So the increase in horsepower and torque is not huge, but I'm sure you can feel it. What I'm really looking forward to is, I understand they have a brand new gearbox for this engine, which is supposed to be very smooth. This gearbox on my version anyways, is quite clunky. I've made many videos talking about that, and I think most RS owners and boxer engine owners in general are well aware of that. But this new gearbox is supposed to be much smoother and not as clunky, so that would be kind of cool. The speed, it says on the website 120 miles an hour plus, so they don't really tell you that what it can do. But I can say that if you go on YouTube, there's I think at least two that I've seen, guys that took this bike, that took my bike, the R1250 RS, onto the Autobahn in Germany and got it up to 144 miles per hour. So that's, I'm assuming that this bike can at least do that or close to it, if you really need to go that fast. And surprising, the weight, they've shedded quite a bit of weight off of this bike. My bike is 534 pounds. This bike weighs in at 523 pounds, so it's about 11 pounds less than mine, and quite a bit less than the previous GS. I'm not exactly sure what the previous GS weighed, but I think it weighed more than my bike. The seat heights vary depending on if there are low seat options and taller seat options, suspension options. So the range is 31.5 inches up to 35 inches. So it's a good 4-inch play there. The suspension, travel for the front is 7.5 inches, travel for the back 7.9. It's got the power lever in the rear and a tail lever in the front for suspension. Wheelbase is 59.8 inches. Comes with a 19-inch front tire, which is a 120/70, and a 17-inch rear tire, which is a 170/60. And for those of you that aren't aware what those numbers mean, I wasn't always aware either, but let's just use the rear tire as an example. So the 170 is the actual millimeter width of the tire, how wide the tire is. The 60 represents 60% of that number is the height, so how high the tire sits off the rim. And then the last number you would see would be R17, which means a 17-inch rim. Comes with ABS anti-lock brakes. It's got a twin 310 millimeter disc up front with 4 pistons. And the rear has a 285 millimeter single disc. Surprisingly, the fuel tank is pretty much the same as this one. It's 5 gallons with 1 gallon reserve. And I think how that works is, on the TFT, it has a countdown of miles. So it tells you how many miles you have left in the tank. And what happens is, I believe, is that the TFT is showing you up to 4 gallons, and when 4 gallons is gone, the TFT will show you 0 miles. You have no miles left, but there's actually still another gallon in there, which gets you another 40 to close to 50 miles on that. So I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So there is no physical reserve tank. So it's quite loud on the highway with the wind and all that, so hopefully you can hear me. Technology, just go through this quickly. It's got the TFT display, which is awesome. It's got the motorrad connectivity that connects to the TFT through your phone. It's got the LED matrix headlight, which has cornering lights, dynamic traction control. I already said ABS brakes. 4 riding modes, so it's got the Eco mode, rain, road, and enduro. And I believe in one of the packages you can also get a pro riding mode or something like that. Hill start control, which is awesome. When you're on a hill, you can engage the brake, and the brake will hold you in place so you don't roll backwards. Dynamic brake control, dynamic cruise control, so that's like the I believe the adaptive cruise control, so it'll match the speed of the vehicle in front of you, so you don't have to keep readjusting your speed, which on a long ride on the highway would be really nice. Engine drag torque control, I'm not familiar with what that is, but it's part of the deal. And let's see what else we got. You got the tire pressure monitor, which shows up on the TFT, which is great, so you know how much tire pressure you have in your tires at all times, and it's real time. Keyless ride, so you have a key fob, and you don't need to put the key in anywhere to start the bike. It just has a start button, an on and off, and a start and stop button. Heated grips. And it's got a compartment with a smartphone charger with USB. It's got the hand protectors out front with the integrated turn signals, which I believe are LED. And then there's some optional equipment. So you got the DSA, which is the dynamic electronic suspension adjustment, adaptive height control, heated seat for the rider and passenger, and then something they call riding assistant, which has got the radar, which is part of the adaptive cruise control, lane change warning, and I believe front collision avoidance, which is all part of that kind of riding assistant to make the ride safer. And then you got the premium package, which I mentioned earlier, which has the Pro riding mode, chrome exhaust pipe, gear shift assist pro, which is a quick shifter basically, dynamic suspension adjustment, sports brake, luggage mounts, so the bike's all set up to take on your panniers. Central locking system, so if you've got BMW bags, I think they'll all be connected up, and you can just hit one button and lock your bike and your bags up. Also comes with the mount for the GPS. It's already prepped for it, so you just have to buy the GPS unit. And finally, it's 3-year warranty or 36,000 miles. So that's kind of the bike in a nutshell. So I've got a little bit more, about 15 minutes left or so, and I'll be at the dealership. So I'll see you there. Here we are coming up on the dealership. So they sell a lot of different bikes as well, all the Japanese bikes, and Triumph as well, and watercraft and side-by-sides. Seems there's a lot of GS fans here today to check this out. So here's an R1200 and a GS Trophy in front of me. 1250. So this must be a tough one for people that maybe just recently bought a 1250. I don't know. I don't know if they're thinking about, hey, let me trade it in, or what's going on. All right, well, let me get out of this gear here.
what's up? We're here at BMW Ride Now Power Sports Austin. It just sat for like an hour, listened to an awesome presentation about the new R1300 GS. And the people that gave the presentation are nice enough to give me a few minutes and say hi. So let's introduce them and check it out. Yeah, how you doing?
Good. Thank you very much.
This is Shawn,
BMW brand ambassador.
and this I'm sorry I didn't get you.
And I'm Louise Powers, BMW motorrad brand expert.
Very nice to meet you guys. Excellent presentation.
Thanks
And
for coming out.
I thought I knew quite a bit about it because I did a lot of research, but there was definitely some things I learned during the presentation. I was like, okay, cool.
Excellent.
So you guys have been running around the country and the world actually doing this with this new GS since October, you said?
Yeah, October was the first time.
Yeah, middle of October, we set out with a new 1300 GS to show it to everyone.
What was the first one, number one spot you hit?
Oh, that was, well, technically it was
the
Motorrad Days Americas.
The Motorrad Days Americas at Barber for Vintage Fest was the first place we saw them, but then we immediately took them to the GS Trophy qualifier in South Carolina. So everyone who came out for the GS Trophy qualifier got a chance to see them and sit on them, ask questions.
Then Asheville was our first dealer.
Yeah.
In North Carolina.
All right, nice. So we're here in Austin, number 20 something?
Yeah, number 28.
Okay, and how much further do you have to go?
So we are going to do 40 visits, most of them before the end of the year. So we're making our way now we got a couple more in Texas, and then we go to Colorado, Utah, Oregon, Washington, and California.
Oh, nice, very nice.
And then there may be more after the first of the year too, depending on if more people want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, these things, the looks anyways of the new bike is subjective, and I think it does. I saw online people saying, oh, it looks better in person. I liked it on digital, but in person it does look better. That X headlight for me is I think it's pretty cool looking, and it's a leaner, meaner looking bike.
Yeah.
What have you gotten back from all these? Because there's a big turnout here today, so I'm sure you get really good turnouts everywhere you go. What kind of feedback you guys getting so far?
I would start with our own, because Louise and I both had very contrasting reactions to seeing the bike for the first time. And Louise, being in the design industry for so long, you really liked the lines of the bike.
Yeah, when I first saw it, even in print form, I loved how it was more streamlined and it looked like it had lost weight. And since we all want our GSs to lose a little bit of weight, I was really
two
excited.
cats, right? Two cats?
Yeah, so I have a big, heavy, fat cat, and it lost 2 of those, 2 rookies.
Louise, nobody understands that unit of measure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to start doing that with horsepower. We got cat weight.
Yeah, exactly. So the bike lost 26 pounds. I'm like, that's pretty significant. But I loved when I saw it because it looks sportier.
Yes.
Which I personally really liked.
Definitely.
I think that it was a little disheartening for me the first time I saw it, because I didn't see it with other people that had never seen it. I saw it with people that knew it already, and all the feedback I was getting about it was all online. It was very negative.
Sure.
And I really struggled with that, because negativity I have a hard time with anyway. My attitude's like, you gotta see it, you gotta ride it. Like, why are you pitching a fit about it now? But what's been so redeeming about it is we've traveled around the country, we've shown it to thousands of people, and almost nobody has a problem with it in person. And generally in person, people's attitudes, they often say, like you said, I wasn't so into it online, but when I see it in person, I really like it. That's great.
Yeah, I had the same experience with the R18. That thing just got bashed online, something fierce when it came out, and I just kind of bought into it a little bit until I actually test rode one.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is a very nice bike, very comfortable. I don't know what everyone's bitching about. I mean, the only thing I think really is that the Ford controls, it's not a Harley, so you got the those big cylinder heads in there, but other than that, the bike rode amazing. The rake is so cool. It's such a heavy bike, but it maneuvers so effortlessly. I had a lot of fun on that bike. So kind of same thing. You got to ride it.
Yeah.
Before you start spouting off.
Yeah, see it in person, you got to ride it, and that's just not. This is the way it's always been. As long as there's been motorcycles and there's been magazines, there's been opinions before you've ridden it. It's just we hear a lot more of them now because everybody can get on the keyboard and say what they think. But I'm very happy to see those minds changing when they see it in person. It's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, and I like the history lesson. That was really good. Other than just talking about the bike itself, just showing where it came from and those really cool nuggets of information that no one else has heard but you guys, those stories. And
I think it's cool to be able to know like where this bike came from, and not just this one on its own, but starting at the very beginning, because the stories are kind of fascinating.
Yep.
So it's fun to be able to tell them, and usually one or two of the stories get some good giggles out of people.
There's an underlying message here too, and it applies to you and your RS as well, is that my impression of BMW when I was on the outside was that it's a big company. They come up with motorcycle ideas, but it's not a terribly personal company. And we have met the people that design these bikes, and they are hardcore riders, and they're extremely passionate, and they push hard to get the machines that we all love out on the marketplace for us. It was very enlightening for us to learn this about them, because it's, there's a lot of aggressive push and pull that happens to make good things come to light. And once you know that, it makes me appreciate the bike a lot more.
Yeah, well, you guys are in the fortunate position of pulling the curtain back from the Wizard there and checking out the background. That's awesome.
Yeah,
very cool.
And we get to meet really fascinating people, and they come from like all different parts of designing the bike and putting the bike together and making sure the public knows about the bike. So to understand that they're like not only really cool people, but we've ridden with them at the GS Trophy. Like they're hardcore riders, and they love the motorcycles like as much as we do. And I think for me that was a really key turning point in doing anything with motorcycles, was learning that the people who make these bikes love them as much as I do.
That's important. Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to not only come here and give this presentation, but taking these few minutes with me. I really appreciate it. And you can check this out on YouTube later once I get it up and going.
Will do.
Thanks for coming out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Rock
to
on,
meet you.
everybody.
Bye.
All right, well, we just finished up at the R1300 GS party. It was very cool. Got to meet some nice people. And Shawn and Louise did an awesome job. It's rush hour traffic too. What time is it? 5:30. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to say Austin because it's pretty much any major city in America now. Rush hour traffic sucks. All right, here we go. I'm actually going to make two videos. One video is the complete presentation that Shawn did. So it's about an hour long, which includes some questions from the audience. I'll just put that up there uncut, and you guys can just enjoy. Or if you're near a city where Shawn's showing up, go see it, go check it out, go sit on it. But I'm interested to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the new GS? It is a little top heavy though, I guess, compared. I heard a couple people talking about it. They felt it was a little bit top heavy. I don't know if that's just the way the gas tank was positioned or or what, but when I got on it, I did have to turn the tire to the right to heft it off the stand. It does lean on the stand, it seems a lot. The angle of the bike leaning to the left seems steeper than my RS. I will say thanks for joining me. Hope you like it. And again, there's going to be two videos coming out of this. This one you're watching, and then the 1 hour long, uncut version of the presentation. So if you're interested, check that out. So again, thanks, and we'll see you next time. Later.